going.
Vlog.
We're vlogging. It's official. It's going.
It's the beginning of the vlog.
Yeah, here we are. We're better than everybody else. No, just kidding.
We're the best.
We're the best.
This is the best vlog ever.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna talk about it.
We're gonna taco about it.
We're gonna
talk about it.
See, we got tacos. We definitely have tacos.
We actually do have tacos.
Taco Tuesday.
And what we're gonna try to do is.
If you said one question, you said one question per taco.
Per taco, yeah.
And there's 4 questions.
We got a taco topic.
You have a taco topic. Are those yours? Taco. Is this considered a mukbang?
A muff?
Is this because we're eating in front of a camera?
But
and we have hella chips. Look how much salsa we have though. Like we have one salsa,
I think we
2
may have gotten too much
salsa,
salsa.
3 salsa, 4.
We may have gotten too many salsas.
5 salsa, 6 salsa.
Yes.
Oh no, those are cucumbers. But still, 7, 8. Let's see, 9, 10.
So
10.
much salsa.
10, and then chips.
Wow. Powerful.
So we have taco party going on.
So is it a muck?
Is it a mukbang? I think I think this constitutes as a mukbang.
Okay, but the definition of a
mukbang. It could be a salsa
mukbang.
mukbang. Look at that.
I mean, there is a lot of sauces. Twirl it a little bit so people can see. Yes.
I think this
That's
constitutes. I think we
real.
do. I think this qualifies.
That's real. I like that.
I think we're getting it. Yeah.
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 All right, so,
Okay, so
I'm not going to call it a
tacos.
mukbang, though, because I think that we have enough discipline to not try to mukbang it out.
But we're eating and talking, and we have an excessive amount of salsa.
Right.
So that does kind of quantify it as a... Okay, so
As long as
it's a mini muk.
It's a mini muk.
It's a mini muk.
It's a mini muk.
Mini muk.
It's a lighthearted...
There you go. It's
lighthearted mukbang.
Hey, boopity scoop. Are those yours?
Okay, so...
Those are pastor. Yeah, those are yours.
There's 4 pastor and 4 asada.
Nope.
Oh, this is what we got to do.
Okay,
they gave us 4 and 4.
Okay, that's fine.
Pick
okay,
any 2 you like.
Care. Like, I don't... Well,
Here.
See, yeah.
Boom.
Here, put it on this side. And that way.
Boom.
See, that's how it's done.
And then this one goes there. Boom.
And then we turn it around like a lazy Susan.
Right.
And then you get
Just turn it around, Susan.
You know those things?
You know the drill.
You know what a lazy Susan is?
Yeah. The name of a girl who's lazy in bed. I guess I
No,
have
it's
no
a
idea.
spice rack.
A spice rack.
That spins. It's a spice rack that has a top and a bottom, and it has a middle, and you load your spices. So you just spin it, and you can find like your garlic salt or your peppermint.
And that's called a lazy Susan?
It's called a lazy Susan.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Is this La Vic sauce?
No, this is where we got it from, sauce. You wanted the pepinos.
Yeah, this does smell good though.
It's delicious orange sauce. It is delicious.
It's an orange sauce, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, since taco about it.
Oh yes, talk about it.
One question per taco.
One question per taco. Okay, let me ask you this question. This is my first taco. First question.
Okay.
Let's talk about it. We're about to talk
Taco
about it.
We're
gonna talk about it.
We need a theme song, like the
Talk
Jeffersons.
about it.
Talk about it.
Talk about it.
And be about it.
Talk about it.
Okay.
Talk about it. All right, we'll work on that.
Oh no. Oh, they're hot.
Here's my question.
Oh, spicy. Ooh.
Do you think that?
Oh yeah.
Do you think that The Rock will be president one day?
No.
The Rock?
No, I don't think so. Well, no. One day, like in my lifetime, will I live to see the day where
when The Rock is president?
Dwayne The Rock Johnson is president?
And if you don't, then tell why wouldn't you see that coming when he's already talking about running and people are like, I'd vote for him. I'd vote for The Rock. I will vote for The Rock.
I want to see him be like mayor of Honolulu first, so you can actually understand like the language.
Right. What the job is.
Get some hands-on experience. I don't know what he's doing when the camera's not off. So for all we know, he's touring like City Hall.
We don't know.
We don't know what he's doing.
So we're not saying it's impossible. It is possible.
That's to kind of ask me to fly the plane just because I've flown on one.
Right.
I don't know if he has the education and the discipline to be a
the
politician,
president.
to be the president, and then
Yeah.
maybe when he's 60,
Mm-hmm.
perhaps when he's older.
But he's not that young though.
But
He's close to. I want to say he's like 40 something.
He gets like what? At least $10 million per movie
Mm-hmm.
to do whatever he wants,
Mm-hmm.
whenever he wants. Does he have the persona to be president? Do we all wish that somebody was so captivating and entertaining and good looking? Like he has,
we do. I think we
he
do
has
that.
all of that. But look at the world.
What about it?
We need napkins, huh?
Here.
You do need napkins.
I'll grab them. I'll grab them.
Dude, how do you know where they are? You saw them?
I'll find them. They can't be that hard. They're napkins. He's talking about the rock.
To the right. To the right. Up. Up. The little thing. I want to see him in a room full of politicians. I want to see him hanging out with Arnold Schwarzenegger and be like, how do you be the governor of California? Like, show me the game. But at this point, I haven't...
You want the rock to go to the Terminator and be like, show me the game?
What?
I mean, I feel you. But at the same time...
Ronald Reagan was an actor.
But at the same time, what about just saying, fuck all that. Let's just vote for somebody who's been doing this political thing.
Because...
Who knows what they're doing already.
Who?
I mean...
Who's out there? Who? Kamala Harris, but she's about to lose her seat.
Listen.
If they don't restructure the American government, Kamala Harris is about to lose her seat.
Right.
Because she's the most junior. So they say they need to restructure it for the budget and blah, blah, blah. So the first person that's liable to go is Kamala, but who's the most likely to become president? Is her. So, of course, all of a sudden, there's a budget crisis when she gets on board.
Mm-hmm.
That's very convenient.
Okay, but...
I would rather her be president than The Rock.
Do you know more about Kamala Harris than you do about The Rock?
I know that she knows how to speak the language in front of those white men.
That's true. So does The Rock. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking?
No. It's a different kind.
Can you smell what The Rock is cooking is one of the greatest American quotes of all time.
Correct. But so is... Yeah, I know, and I get that. But I also need to make sure that it's like... How far are we going to take this stuff? If he doesn't take it seriously, like Kamala takes our country... Oh, seriously.
But we already have a president who doesn't take it seriously.
Right,
you know?
so we need somebody who's going to take it seriously. So what are we going to do? Fall off the floor and be like...
Can't do
Or are we
that.
going to right the wrong?
Damn, I ate my second... No. Oh, my bad. I'm tripping. I was like, I thought I ate my second taco. I'm like, where am I? But there's a third taco there. Woo! Save myself. But I like where you're going with this, though. When it comes to Kamala Harris. She's going to run.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that she would beat Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. People would be so fascinated by how intelligent she was compared to him that they'd be like, how clownish can we get if we vote for this dummy versus this clearly highly intelligent person? At least that's what I hope. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but maybe I'm underestimating America's level of racism still after all these years. Because I feel like America would still vote for an old, rich, con man, white dude before they would vote for anybody who maybe has a different background, completely different background, but is a citizen and was born in this country and is of this country and all that, you know? They still would rather vote for that cat. So, you know. I would like to see it. I would like to see it happen because I think that she would like help continue to pull the covers off the country, like what's here, what's under here, you know? She would continue that.
So for every person that would vote against her, isn't there an opportunity for people to like everybody who turns 18 today to like register and learn about how important it is to elect people that really represent like what they look like.
Right.
I think we've taken too much time off in recruiting and incubating and educating and motivating people to vote.
Right.
Like the whole Diddy thing, like rock the vote, I get it. It wasn't enough. Because you're telling me rock the vote, but What am I voting for? You're not explaining that. What am I voting for? Like, how are you going to help me understand, like, what I'm voting for? So
you didn't get rocked you didn't get rocked that year? You didn't vote? Did you vote that year?
of course, I voted every year since I turned 18. But I do know that the level of language that the voting information, the pamphlets, the mailers that get sent to your house are written at such a level. They're written at such a high level of education that if you've gotten your GED, if English is not your first language, if you're dyslexic, if you're blind, if you just don't have the patience to read, you don't understand what's going on here. People spend 15 minutes a day on Instagram. 15 minutes. 15 minutes of their life on Instagram. If I don't understand what I'm voting for, but I'm not taking 15 minutes out to understand, but I have 15 minutes to go on social media and scroll through this mind-numbing thing that's not going to change my life. It's not going to determine whether or not we have the farmer's market. It's not going to determine whether or not the lights are going to stay on in the park. It's not going to determine whether or not, what's going to happen in my neighborhood. If I'm not going to take 15 minutes out to do that, but I can go on Instagram, why is it easier for somebody to go on Instagram than it is for somebody to figure out what Proposition H means? Because it's intimidating. Instagram is not intimidating. All I have to do is look at pictures.
It's true. Like it or don't like it.
Like it or don't like it. So, because the language has not been adjusted to reflect people who would be the next generation of voters, that's why things keep staying the same. Is because people are being intentionally left out of the party. So, who knows what an incumbent is, really? Explain an incumbent.
Is a person. Well, I know what it is. Is a person that's already in the seat.
Right.
That's it. A person who's currently in the seat.
Right. But that's it. Like, people don't understand, like, the reason why they should vote for a sheriff or vote for their judge.
Right.
If you have a judge that's 100% against weed on the ballot versus a judge who's 100% like for it, but you don't know that, you're just going based on names that you like, but you have no idea who you're electing. There's no information on their vote, what it is. It doesn't say like it's Judge XYZ and they're conservative, or Judge ABC and they're liberal. You have nothing. It's up to you to go and see. And then while you get mad why your county's the way it is, well, look who's in charge, because the sheriff doesn't like weed, and that's why your boys are getting locked up. But if you would have voted for this person,
you would have had a better path.
Thank you. Do your Google.
Do your Googles.
Do your Googles. Do your Googles.
Do your Googles.
Do your Googles.
That's the cry. That's the cry of this millennium.
Do your Google. You can bring your phone with you when you vote. There's no law that says that you can't go on Google while you're voting. You can be on your phone and
like that,
and find out, like, what does this mean? What does that mean? There's no you can't take a picture,
right?
But you can bring your phone in there. And if you don't speak English, you can bring a translator in there with you. There's so much that people don't even know about voting. So that's why we get people like this.
So all in all, you don't think that The Rock will ever be president of America?
Not from what I've seen. I know people want him to do it, but I don't see him taking any initiative to do it. I haven't seen anything.
Okay. Like it.
That was your first taco question?
That was my first taco question. Now you ask a question. We go back and forth.
Okay. Mailman.
Oh, mailman?
Mailman.
Got your fucking envelopes, Kimmie. We got your fucking mail.
We got your mail. Okay. A question to ask you over a taco?
This will be taco topic number 2.
Taco topic number 2? Alright, let me think. What advice would you give a 16-year-old self?
A 16-year-old self?
If you were 16, if you had the opportunity to
go back and talk to myself
just be like, look, you could park it right here and go back and say, look, 16-year-old Rudy, I need for you to know no matter what?
I would probably go back and tell him, hey man, all that shit that you want to do, just fucking commit to it 100% without any hesitation, because eventually you're gonna do whatever the fuck you want to do anyways. That's all I can tell you. Like all the shit that you want to do, just fucking do it. Because if you don't, you're gonna end up going back and forth over all these years and only half stepping, and then eventually one day you're gonna be like, man, I want to do whatever the fuck I want to do anyways. And you would have been better, which is great, but you would have been better off just doing it from the fucking get-go. You know what I mean? Just committing early instead of being hesitant and on the fence about it, because you're gonna want to do whatever the fuck you wanted to do in the first place anyways. I'm telling you that because I'm your future you. You're gonna do whatever the fuck you want to do, man. So just commit from the very beginning. I think that would have been great advice to me. I think that'd be great advice to any 16-year-old. You know, find things that like you have great passion for and just commit to them. Because even if they don't become your career, just like have something that you just know how to really dive into head first, you know? It's good to have that. Excuse me. That's the taco. It's the first taco talking. Taco back talk.
Taco.
So I think that's what I would tell a 16-year-old self. I'd be like, dude, just jump in, man. Jump in and figure it out. Jump in and figure out all the questions that are going to come up. Just figure them out while you already jumped in head first, you know? While you already dove in. Because you are who you are, and in the end you're not going to be able to outrun yourself, and you're just going to end up you're going to come down to having two options. Either you regret the choices that you made, and you're just going to live with, you know, continue your life in regret, or you're actually going to say, fuck, you're going to drop everything and be like, fuck this, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do, because you could never really suppress it properly to begin with, because that's who you are. So it just kept following you your whole life, and then one day you were just like, fuck everything, man, I want to do what the fuck I want to do, which is great, but you might as well have jumped in from the get-go, because you would have been further along, or you would have been like more in motion, you know. You would have, I mean, you're gonna get there, but I just feel like if you just dive in head first from a young age, like the sky's truly the limit, you know. The sky's truly the limit. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do, you know what I'm saying, because you dove in from an early age. So that's what I would tell myself. Do all that shit that you want to do deep down inside, do it. Because I'm telling you right now, as your future self, you're going to do whatever the fuck you want to do anyways. Eventually, you're going to just give in to your desire and be like, nah, man, I want to live my life. You know? So, which is awesome, but you should have just done it from the get-go. You'd have been better off. You probably would have been stronger and happier and more, you know, like, you probably would have been more focused at a younger age, more disciplined at a younger age, and more committed at a younger age. Which I think, in retrospect, is good for everybody. You know? Even though some of us turned out great, and some of us not so great. But I think everybody, even the most successful person or somebody who considers themselves the most successful person, I'm sure that at some point they would have wanted to go back in time and be like, yeah, man, I just wish that when I was younger I would have, you know, considered this. But unfortunately you can't do that. Because only like life teaches you how to talk to your 16-year-old self. Your 16-year-old self doesn't even know what to say at the moment. So, you know, I guess just that, and also like fucking watch out for this bitch named fucking Melissa.
Watch out for Melissa.
Cause she's gonna fuck your shit up.
Watch out for Melissa. What is
Melissa was a fucking maniac, bro. All right? And there's only one Melissa in your life. You'll know who I'm talking about when you meet the bitch. If you see her, turn around and run.
I'm not even gonna.
Don't ever turn back. No.
I can give you validity towards that because I had a Melvin, a Mel. There's something with the something with the.
Something with the M.
Something with the Mel. You had a Melissa. I had a Melvin.
Malice. It sounds like Malice.
It's just.
It sounds like Malice.
Can't say their name 3 times, or else it's like Beetlejuice, and then they come back.
What would you tell your 16-year-old self?
I would tell my 16-year-old self that. Let's see. I would give the advice that I was given when I was 19, which is A, don't be a hoe. Don't be a hoe. Just don't be a hoe.
Okay.
Don't be a hoe for A. Just Just you don't need to do that. That's easy. And you are not responsible for how you make people feel. You're not responsible for how you make people feel. It's on them. It's on. There's nothing that you can do to make anybody do anything that you want to do. There's nothing. There's no telepathy. There's no. At no point can you make somebody do what you want them to do. No matter how much you want them to do it, you can't. The only thing that you can do is like turn that energy around and know that if you can see that in somebody, you can do that for yourself. So there's so like it's just like you can't make people like you. You can't make people understand you. You can't make people, see what you want. And you just gotta let people be who they are. And and once you do that, then it's okay. But then it's also at the same time, like if you do something and somebody gets upset about it, that's not your responsibility. Unless you've done it intentionally to hurt them, then maybe you have some responsibility. But if you know that like this is what makes me happy, this is what makes me feel good, I didn't harm anybody, I'm looking out for you, I'm being honest with myself. If you don't like it, that's okay. Like it's okay for people to not like what you do.
Right.
It's okay. It doesn't make you bad. My Virgo times 4 had this thing that if like I disappointed people, or if I said something that people didn't agree with or didn't necessarily like, that it was I did something wrong. Like where did I mess up? Like where did I go wrong? Like how come I couldn't make you understand how much this meant to me, or how come I couldn't understand like why didn't this make you happy or whatever.
Right.
But there's nothing that I can do. I mean, you can give me flowers and I'll be like, I just really wasn't in the mood for flowers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing. I can't be like sit up here and say, you know what, Rudy, I really want you to do a cartwheel right now. Like I just can't make you do that.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
That made me do it.
No.
I'm gonna do it right now. I won't do it.
I can't even do a cartwheel. So.
You told me to do a cartwheel. I'd be like, hey, you do a backflip first.
Right. You can't make,
I'll do a cartwheel.
That's all I'd say. That's me. That's what I'd say. I let people be people. And let me be people.
Do you feel like you didn't know that back then?
Yeah. Because
So then why would you go back and tell yourself that if you already knew that?
No. I never. No, because I took a lot of responsibility. Like, if I'm. The irrational thing that you have to be perfect, and that people are going to appreciate everything that you do.
They're not.
They don't. Or they don't understand, or, like people, like everybody's fine. Like I can't get it wrong just because you don't understand. It doesn't mean like what I did was wrong. I just didn't in the way that I thought it would. You know what I'm saying?
It's understandable. It's like that sometimes.
I like the Virgo thing. It's just perfect, like perfection. Everything always has to be perfect. And me doing this right now.
Isn't that a hard life to live? Always being perfect?
I don't know. Like, well, kind of. Like right now, me eating tacos.
I would say yes.
In front of a camera, knowing that like I've been up since 3 a.m. and like it is what it is. It's different. Like this is
and you gotta
different.
get up again at 3 a.m.
I don't care about that, but it's like this is pretty like raw for me. I don't do like stuff like this.
What, like vlogs?
Yeah, no, because like
Taco Tuesday, talk about it. Taco topics, talk about it.
I'm supposed to be like the ultimate. I don't know. Like
The
I have
ultimate lockbox.
I don't know. Like perfect. Like you can't. Like bumper bowling.
Okay.
So this is very new. I don't do stuff like this.
Taco Tuesday, talk about it.
Did you have any of the red? This one? Taco?
Not the red one, not yet. It looks good though.
It does. Okay. You have the next question.
We're on taco topic number 3.
Are we?
Yeah, because we're going on to our
1,
third.
2, 3, 4, 5.
No. These are my 2.
And then there's 3.
You're supposed to.
Am I behind?
Yeah, I think you're behind one.
I'm behind the whole taco?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
One whole taco.
Oh, we might have to.
Don't rush it. You don't have to rush it.
How did we even get behind tacos?
Because I think that you only finished one taco between my question and your question. You only finished one taco.
Sure, whatever you say. I trust you.
I'm pretty sure.
I trust you. Okay, so what are you talking about?
We can watch the video.
We can watch the video. We'll figure out who ate tacos.
Who the fuck ate the taco?
Taco thief. Taco thief.
You're a taco thief. No, the last question was 16-year-old self, but
I asked the question. Yeah, that was what one taco 2. Yeah.
1, taco 2, taco 3, taco 4, taco 5, taco 6, taco 6, taco 6, taco. Let me think. Question number 4. Oh my bad. 3s. The battle of the sexes. All right. Let me ask you this question. I heard Patrice O'Neal talk about the king-queen theory.
What about it?
You ever heard of this? Where king-queen theory is like a theory in terms of how society works best, how men and women relationships work best, right? And he was talking about how, like, when the man marries the woman, that woman automatically becomes the queen, and she gets all the queen pull and all the queen, acknowledgement and whatnot. And that's part of the deal. When a woman comes into a man's life, he gets elevated to his highest level, his counterpart, the queen. Right? He's the king, she's the queen. And she gets treated as such no matter what it is that she brings to the table, because a man isn't going to look at a woman and be like, well, as long as you're not stealing or cheating on me, I can handle everything else. That's a man's mentality. And usually and typically that mentality is applauded. But in this, in a man's mind, it still is, in my opinion, right? But anyways, when he does that, that woman that he chooses to have in his life, she's automatically lifted to queen status. But when a woman who's got her shit together and living her life properly and handling all her business properly gets with a guy, and the guy isn't bringing at least the same to the table or more, he is not elevated to the king level. She's the queen, clearly, but he's not elevated to the king level. Hold on a second. And I don't disagree with that. That's the way it should be. I mean, I have no problem with that whatsoever, right? So my question to you is, do you think that there's truth in that? And if so, if you do think there's truth in that, what do you think that says about what it is that a man-woman dynamic really is? Like, is it a king-queen thing, or is everybody equal? Because it can't be 50-50. It doesn't seem like it at all, based off what I just laid out.
Water, please, because I gotta.
I don't even think you understood my question.
I do, but see,
do you?
I do. This is.
Something tells me that you don't really. You heard me, but you ain't really hearing me.
Do you understand? There's so many people want to talk about this king queen thing, but they don't understand what it takes to run a castle.
So many people.
The king and the queen thing is such a.
You've never even heard of it.
It's a fantasy. Like, if you're to research, research.
First of all, do you even agree with what I laid out, the Patrice O'Neal bit that I heard that made me think about
because
it? You don't agree with
because
that at all?
there's so many missing pieces. There's so many missing components to actually what it takes, or what it took, or what it meant, or what the proof is, or what history shows. What we're doing is we're taking the idea of a king and queen and we're doing shopping cart with it. We're saying, oh, I want the royalty, I want the thrones, I want the castle, I want the jewels, I want the power. There is a system with all of that. And part of the deal, have you ever heard of Ladies in Waiting?
What is that? Is that a TV show?
No. Ladies in Waiting were the king's other women that were kept on the property of the castle. He had free will to go sleep with his ladies in waiting.
Right, they were waiting.
Ladies in waiting.
Just waiting.
They're waiting. They're on the ground.
You're just waiting around.
They're called, yes.
Just walking around.
Ladies in waiting, like
waiting.
Yes. So
for him to call.
So so if you really look back at the structure of a kingdom, if you really look back at it, it was not based on monogamy. The king had an entire
stable,
of women at his disposal, and that was okay back then.
Right.
So yeah, like
we can make it like that again.
I don't see why we don't.
I'm with you on this.
Monogamy is a societal lie that's caused more divorces in the last 30 years than we've ever experienced.
But people would still break up even if monogamy was rejected. People would still break up.
No. The internet is 30 years old. You have access to millions of beautiful, sexable women at your fingertips.
But I can't possibly
more than your
them
ancestors have ever seen in their life. There's no way you at your fingertips can get sex, can look at women, can just know that they exist. Millions
well, wait a minute.
times.
Getting sex and looking at women and knowing that they exist.
Pleasure center.
That's two different things, though.
It's still pleasure. It still makes you feel good, knowing that you're looking.
It makes me feel guilty.
Why? See, that's what I'm
trying.
Most dudes
after we watch porn, we be looking at ourselves in the mirror like, oh my god.
What are you talking about porn?
Like,
it's just that
man? What am I doing?
Why?
You feel guilty.
Why?
You just busted a nut all over your nice carpet. You're like, oh my god, I'm an animal, a beast.
No, I don't think so. You're in this. You live in.
How would you know? You don't have a dick.
Because I'm here though. Because I understand that you guys have more women at your fingertips than imaginable.
Yeah, but we can't fuck them though.
Yes, you can. I mean, like you can. Between Instagram, Tinder, Plenty of Fish, like there's access to women in more ways than we've ever imagined.
But the internet is just providing you the same ratchet bitches you see every day in the streets.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It just shows that like we have so many options and that we're going to be attracted to so many different things. So monogamy is now the minority in my opinion. Because if I'm sitting up here looking at 2,000 good-looking men, other than my man, if I'm not monogamous, I would not be looking at that many good-looking men. I would not be visually attracted to that many good-looking people if monogamy was so embedded in me that I can only be like, I only have eyes for you. No, I don't. I really don't. I've got eyes for him. Oh, I like her. It's like we're there. We're being honest about what we're attracted to. But yet we're supposed to be in these confines to say that this is it. That doesn't make sense.
That makes sense to me.
Doesn't make sense at all. It's like me even finding out like with Instagram, like I follow women because I'm like, oh my god, she's beautiful. I'm like, she's gorgeous. Like, yeah, there's an attraction level. Does it mean that I want to marry her? No. But am I like, yo, she's a beautiful woman. Like it makes me feel good like when I look at her. So we are in these trappings of where, oh, this is where it has to be and all of this.
Right.
It's stupid. Like let it be known.
Live and let live.
That yes. So I just really think that people they just need to be honest about who they are. Like, and just go day by day. I think people just really box themselves in saying, oh, I'm straight, oh, I'm this, I'm bi, I'm this, I'm that. Why don't you just be alive and figure it out?
For real.
Why do you have to put labels on yourself?
Don't label yourself.
Don't label yourself.
Just live your life.
Can't you just say that like you're a comedian versus you're a Latin comic?
Now what about this though?
Yes. How?
What if you're sure that that's what you are though?
That's fine, but okay.
I mean,
but that's all you want.
Can you label yourself? Is labeling yourself okay though? I know you're saying
cool.
Why label yourself.
It's cool. The same reason why I don't put titles on relationships.
Right.
Like why have this thing, like this title? You know? Why can't you just be?
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Just be, because it's day, like it's every day. I like to live my life by the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because if you box yourself. I don't let what I do defines me.
Right.
It doesn't define who I am. You know, it doesn't. I don't let it, because what happens if I don't want to do it anymore?
Yeah.
What happens to me?
Yeah. You just forget who you are.
Right. Right. See, I told you, finish your tea, how thirsty. I told you should get out more of it.
Yeah.
Get some bubble water.
How much you got some tap water?
Okay.
You don't like tap water?
I do, but you and okay. All right.
Was it got fluoride in it or something?
No, it's San Francisco. It's fine. I'll get you some.
Don't you trust your city that you were born
I
in?
do.
Hold on, don't get it for me. Be that worried about it.
I'm not worried.
I just drink some. I got some water in my backpack.
No, you stop it right now. I'll give you.
No.
I love Sam. It's from the Hechechi. I don't understand how you can drink water and eat tacos.
Wait. Let me drink my water first. I don't want that tap water.
It's delicious. I drink it all the time.
You drink half of it then, and then bring it over
I
here.
don't want it because I have my bubble water. I drink it all the time. What are you talking
No,
about?
I don't trust you.
Why?
You look shocked when I said tap water.
Because
You're like,
you want tap water with tacos. But San Francisco tap water comes with hechechi. It's delicious.
Tapatio drinking tap water on Taco Tuesday.
Try it. It's delicious. It comes from Tahoe. The tap water comes from Tahoe.
Yeah, put it right there on the side. I'll consider it.
And look, it's in my beautiful stein. I wouldn't put nothing noxious in there. That wasn't supposed to be.
Your Raiders time.
I think it's delicious.
Thank you.
Oh, I should have gotten more napkins.
I got this one here. Boom.
Why is it?
Got this one.
This one. This two.
This one napkin.
Talk about it. Wait, where are we on the taco count? How come this?
You already picked your taco.
Wait, I didn't eat it?
Yeah, you're on your third one. And I asked the third question, but you get the fourth question though. It'll be 2-2.
Really?
Hmm?
Okay.
2 questions each.
Okay.
We about to talk about it.
So I have to think of another question.
No, well, are you done with the king queen paradigm that I presented?
Figure out how it really worked
Right.
before you say that's what you want.
Do you think there's any truth in the idea that when a man marries a woman, she becomes a queen, and when a woman marries a man, he doesn't just become the king?
No. You become taxable at a different bracket.
That's it. There's no king. There's no queen.
No. What? I mean, no. What? No. What are you doing? Like, and what are we doing here?
Right.
Like, if maybe in your little, I don't understand it. I don't understand. I don't need that. I just, what does that mean? What
you don't
does
want
that
to be
change?
considered the queen of somebody's life?
No. No. What is that even, like, what do I get out of that? Do I get a parade? Do I get a holiday?
No.
Do I get a crown?
Your anniversary? That's like your holiday.
No, to say, hey.
Thanks for staying with me all these years.
No. I want to know that that you enjoy me.
True that.
That you enjoy me. Do you enjoy me? Yeah. That's it. Am I enjoyable to you? Yeah. Maybe if hey, I want to see you naked and maybe make you some food and
Mm. And enjoy the food.
I enjoy it. It's not about this. I don't live in Britain. I'm not in line for the throne.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never gonna. Like,
You know Meghan Markle.
Thank you. Like, what are you talking about here? Like, I don't have. What do I know? Like, the Queen? No. Do I want somebody that I can have fun with? Do I want somebody who understands that I love money, and that
I love money.
I love money. I love money.
No, I really love money.
Yeah, I love money, and I want to do what it takes to make fun money and
fun money.
I don't want stress. I don't believe in stress. That's not a king or a queen. Like I don't know what you're talking about. Cause
so for you, the king-queen ratio, king-queen scenario is just ridiculous because there's no king or no queen.
it's imaginary.
It's all imaginary.
No. Let's add. I want to see how many zeros I can add to the bank account.
Hey, that's reasonable though. That's reasonable.
Can we take this 1,000 to 10,000? Can
Right.
I flip this 10,000 to 100,000 with you? Why don't we take this 100,000 and see if we can flip it to $1 million? Can we take this $1 million, make it a 10 million? Let's take this 10 million, make it 100 million. Let's take this 100 million, make it to $1 billion. That's what I want to do. That to me is realistic.
Right.
Rather than having a moat.
No moats.
I mean,
Right.
the likelihood of me taking $1,000 and flipping it eventually to like $1 million is a lot more realistic
Right.
than me having a moat.
You're not.
Why would I have a moat?
You don't
But
need
that's
it.
a king and a queen have, right?
Right.
They have moats.
Moats. They do have moats. Emotional moats. You can have an emotional moat if you want.
I'm not gonna be like, hey, dun, dun, dun. I'm not gonna be medieval times. Like I've been to medieval times. Like we're not going back there.
Yeah.
We're not going there. But perhaps I could like have $1,000 and then invest into an amazing tech company, and for some reason it turns into 16 million. That's more realistic
Right.
in the world that I live.
Get that money. Get that money.
And you can call me whatever you want. But
they're probably gonna call you Ms. Kimmie, Mrs. Kimmie T.
But whatever it is,
Boss Lady Kimmie T.
that's what it is.
That's what they're gonna call you.
Whatever you call me.
That's good.
That's what I am. I'm just kind of
Yeah, you gotta get your money.
Gotta get your money. I love money.
What do you love more than money?
The fact that I don't have to think about my heart beating or how my breathing happens.
That's the only other thing you love more than money?
I think it's amazing. Yeah.
Oh wow. Do you think about that a lot?
No, I don't have to.
How come you don't have to?
Do you think about your heart beating, or you're like, okay, heart, I need you to go 98 beats per minute, or does it just happen?
Well, I mean, I do have something to do with it.
Do you say, hey, you really?
Yeah,
do?
by the way that I react to things, I'm
Really?
kind of in control.
Mm-hmm.
But like how my heart.
Like when you're sleeping, though, you say, okay, all right, heart, do it for me one more time.
Do it for me. Play it again, Sam.
Just make sure I wake up. Oh.
I don't. You're right. I don't tell my heart that.
Do you tell your lungs, okay, keep breathing? Have you thought about breathing since we've been having this conversation? Have you had to remind yourself to breathe?
No.
No.
Right. So that money.
Oh, yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Or the fact that my mom was
Those are two cool things.
Yeah. Or the fact
Really
that,
cool.
like, I was born here in this region of the world compared to any place else.
Right.
The fact that this woman and this man came together, like, here of all places. That's amazing. I didn't ask to be born here.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at other places around the world, it could have happened. Like, how did your mom become your mom? It wasn't contingent on your father. I mean, your mother.
Right.
So this woman decided to have you here. This was your place. The odds of that are every place in the world to one.
To one, yeah. Crazy odds. Could you imagine if you hit? Guess what? You did.
You could have been in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
You could have been
Could have been in Serbia.
anywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But it's this place in the world to one.
I could have been in Poland.
Anywhere. Haiti, anywhere. But for some reason, this person brought you here at this place. To me, that...
There's a little bit of stardust.
Yeah.
The light of God is what they called me when I was a kid.
Did they?
The light of God.
No, No,
They never called me that, but they should have though. No, they never did. But I hear you though. I hear what you're saying. I never thought about that. The fact that you don't have to think about your heart beating or your breathing.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's definitely something to appreciate.
Mm-hmm. I have to tell
Definitely.
my phone to wake me up.
It's true.
But I don't have to be like, okay, lungs, do your thing.
Right. Well, what about your brain though? Do you ever tell your brain to just think?
That's the thing. That's the magic part of it. It's like it's this little machine up here. It's doing all of it by itself.
Do you put that in the same category as your heart and your lungs?
Definitely. Like this is a powerhouse
Mm.
above.
So do you appreciate the fact that you never have to think about thinking?
Wait.
Wait a minute, you're thinking about it. Uh-oh.
I never
Is that thing
really
working?
Think about thinking.
Is that thing, well, you're thinking about thinking. So is that thing working or not?
What do you thought? Are you saying like where did my thoughts come from?
Do you ever think about the fact that you don't have to think about thinking?
I do have to think about thinking though, because if I'm thinking something and I don't like what I'm thinking, then I have to change it. And I'm like, oh no, I can do it better.
I can do better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't ever think about thinking. I just think. I don't think about it though.
Where are the thoughts coming from?
From me, from my mind. And I'm activating my mind the same way that I activate my heart and my lungs. I don't think about it. I just do it. I'm thinking when I'm sleeping. There's your ultimate proof right there.
I know we all think when we sleep.
Like what's working? Think about think about
Everything.
this. What's active while you sleep?
Everything.
Your brain,
Your lungs, your liver, detox, everything.
your mind, your
Everything.
lungs, and your
Why
heart.
do you think you have to peak? You have to, and your whole digestive and everything. That's why you have to peace about when you wake up, because your body's like, I need to detox.
I need to
Detox.
exhaust this.
I need
All right,
to.
I'm telling you, man. I don't think about thinking. I feel like you are. I feel like you think about thinking.
I don't think
I think
about
you're thinking too much,
What
and
about?
I think that you need to stop and think about it. Just really think about it.
Okay. How come there's 2 tacos left?
Cause. Oh no! You have one left, and I have one left
Yeah.
for the 4th question. For the 4th taco topic.
Oh, okay.
We already went through 3. So now you can ask the 4th one if you like.
Oh, it's a lot of taco. Okay, I can do it. Okay.
We got one taco left.
Mm.
No kings, no queens, bitch.
Oh, I got salsa on my face. Oh,
Don't get salsa on your
there's
face.
something on my face. Here's your question.
Alright, what's that?
Oh, it's kind of a 2-part question. Do you believe in time travel?
What's the 2nd part?
If not, why?
Well, alright, number 1, I don't believe in time travel. Number 2, the reason I don't believe in it is because although I admit that I am not well versed in, the laws of quantum physics and all the other elements that make up time travel.
Mm-hmm.
I admit that. I do admit that. I just can't begin to wrap my mind around any notions that would allow that, because the way I view time is already just as a social construct that I think is really just a byproduct of man's need to control things around him, and isn't isn't really an extension of the universe.
Have you ever had deja vu?
I have.
Where-
I have. But I don't believe
But
that
where do you think that comes from?
I think that
How do you think that happens?
I think that perhaps we've had dreams, or we've had, because a lot of things happen when you're asleep that I can't begin to explain, but I know that they're going on. And I really think that sometimes maybe we have dreams, or we have other things that actually have happened in our life, events that have happened, small, brief events that maybe we don't remember immediately, but that somehow left a wrinkle in our brain. And when we come across something similar to it, we make a quick connection. There's a spark there, and there's a quick connection. So I do believe that that could account for some of the things that we consider to be deja vu. I don't believe that that's a moment that we've already lived in time. Specifically that moment, particularly that moment, like, I don't believe that that's something that we've already lived in time and that we're reliving because we somehow came back in time and moved forward again. If that's what you're alluding to.
I am.
Because and the reason why is because I can't see how it would fall in line with the social construct of time that we've constructed. I can't see how, I feel like if we never had invented the concept of time, that wouldn't be an issue. Deja vu wouldn't be an issue necessarily. But again, I admit that I'm not familiar with all the elements that make up time travel. I guess I'm just not ready. I'm not ready to believe. I'm not ready to understand or really to believe that there's something, like that possible. Because how can you move from one place because I mean, what is time anyways? It's like the spectrum that we've created. I mean, is there even such a thing as the future? Is there even such a thing as the past? Are we truly just always in the moment, always in the now?
That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah, and that's what I'm telling you. I can't understand how. I don't understand where the science.
Have you ever encountered a baby where you're like, this baby's been here before? Like, they know too much. Like, they're too smart for their own good. Where you get the sense, so it's like, how come you know so much?
Yes, I have. But how does that relate to time travel?
Well, they've been here before. If they've already been in 2018.
How would we know that they've been here before?
Because that's what we say. They've been here before. They're acting like as if they already know. And they behave as if they're comfortable without learning anything.
And that's more of an indication of time travel than it is of a very capable little human being.
Well, if you said somebody's been here before, that's indicative of traveling time and coming back. We don't know where they came from, but we just know that they've been here before. Deja vu feels the closest thing to time travel for me. And it's not necessarily like time travel. It's...
I mean, give me your definition of time traveling, because I want to know what that is for you. For me, I imagine like Back to the Future.
Oh, of course. I didn't look at it like that. No.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures.
No, it's not. No.
The Terminator.
No, that's commercialized. Like,
give me that grassroots time travel.
Where like, you've been someplace before. Where you have this knowing. Where you have a knowing that this came from a place where you get so deep into your subconscious, like in a meditation, or for instance, like going floating, where your pineal gland just comes alive and you just start seeing like movies,
right?
And start seeing things, when you're not asleep and you're not awake, but there's this place like right here, and you just start seeing these glimpses of almost like, you know, those books where you use your thumb and it shows a whole animation, like it goes.
Yeah.
Those moments, you know, where you can really see things that you've never like seen before, and
Right.
it's playing out in ways where you feel like you're there, or where you know you've been someplace where you know you've been there before. Like you come into like a restaurant or an environment or have a conversation with somebody, and it's so natural that there's no sense of hesitation, or there's no sense of questioning why you're there, and you're like, oh, I know exactly why I'm here.
Right.
Because I've been here before. It's that kind of connectivity. I'm not saying getting in a car and being like, okay, we're gonna go to 1984, but it's having those moments where you just kind of have those. I have.
Well, I mean, how would you describe that as the soul being the vehicle that's time travel, or the soul being the essence that's time traveling? Is that what we're talking about?
Obviously,
the soul being
I mean, everybody,
transferred from one life to another.
We're just running around all of it, yeah. I believe so, because I mean, look at all the religions and doctrines and rules and regulations that say that we need to allow for the soul to do what it needs to do. You know, the 3 days to leave the soul, leave the body. You know, you have to bury the person within 40 days, or the soul will never make it. Or I mean, we have so many. There's so many rules when it comes to protecting the soul
that relate to the soul. Yeah.
That why wouldn't it be the thing that's running around when we're sleeping?
Well, let me play devil's advocate. If it was the soul that was time traveling, if it was a soul that was going from one life to another, why wouldn't they be more aware of it? Why wouldn't the soul itself be more aware of it?
We are. We're ignorant.
How are we aware and ignorant?
We are, but because of. I mean, I think we have. I think what happens is, well, now we're going to get really deep into the matrix, where I feel as if like we have things like fluoride, and the chemtrails, and toxins in our system that are numbing our ability to really connect with that side of ourselves. You know, if you look into fluoride, what it does is that it calcifies the pineal gland in your brain.
Right.
It calcifies it. And this is the most, it's like the button. It's your third eye. Like if I go like this on you right now, this is where it is. It's your third eye. But yeah, for some reason, the government has figured out a way to put this additive in water and toothpaste and everything that we put in our mouth to put a plaque around it so we don't tap into it. This is like where it's your third eye. It's like we have two, but then there's this one. You know, so they're doing so much to suppress our our abilities and options and tools. You know, where they're like, hey, here, you know, we'll put these things in the sky. Hey, here, we'll make everybody drive Priuses, and we're just gonna homogenize everything.
Right, the culture.
You're the human beings. We're just gonna make you guys so dumb that you guys don't even think that like things are possible.
Right.
You know, that you don't think that, you know, people who are aware.
Is there a way that we may be able to remove the calcium from?
Don't use fluoride.
You think it'll start wearing off, or you think like once the calcium is there, it's there forever?
No, you can decalcify. You can
Calcify?
Absolutely decalcify. You use this thing called it's a white gold. It smells like fish. It's disgusting, but it's this serum that I took, and it decalcifies your pineal gland.
What's it called?
I have to white
gold,
like white oro or like something like that. And
I want to do that. I want to decalcify.
And you don't use fluoride in your toothpaste. You know, and you find a filter that fluoride makes people dumb. If you look at it, this is when they started. If it's something that they figured out that makes people really just complacent,
dumb,
and lightweight lobotomizes people.
That's terrible.
But if everybody's using the same toothpaste and, you know, the same basic formula for toothpaste, and millions of people in their mouth every day just taking this dose of fluoride, we're all becoming dummies.
Right.
And it's a, yeah. So
Don't be a dummy.
don't be a dummy.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't want. Yeah, I
So,
gotta stop with the fluoride.
fluoride is bad, and you want to stimulate your this pineal gland.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
less fluoride, more white.
And then a
gold.
lot of floating, and more
I
floating.
want to give that a try, but I'm kind of scared though. It just seems like
You can
it might be like too intense.
you can kick yourself out. I mean, you can get out of there.
Can you play music in there?
No, you cannot play music.
I mean, then what the?
No.
It's just too quiet. It sounds like it'd just be too quiet.
It's you and your brain. See, he doesn't want to do it.
No, I do want to do it. I just.
We're talking about, for those who don't know.
It's like intense meditation though. Intense.
No, it's sensory deprivation. That's what it's called. Not
Right.
intense meditation.
Isn't that pretty much what meditating is when you're depriving yourself of everything else?
You're just gonna focus.
You're focusing.
Sensory deprivation. And it's you and your brain.
I'm down. I'm down.
Do it.
I do want to try a yoga class.
Oh, I cried after the last yoga class I did.
I wanna go to yoga one time. I wanna stretch. You know, I wanna bend.
Mm-hmm.
Wanna.
I'm bendy.
I'm not.
I am.
I'm not at all.
I am.
I can't honestly.
I'm big, but I'm bendy. That's
I can't touch my toes. I can't touch my toes. I can't do it.
Let's do it.
Unless I'm sitting Indian style on the ground.
Yeah, do it.
It's the only way.
Bendy sex is good sex.
Well, of course.
That's what. Yeah. Hello.
Of course. Bendy sex is good sex.
Bendy.
Like saying cold ice cream is good ice cream. You know?
Right. So don't you want me bendy?
Yeah. No. Bendy is the way to go.
Bendy's.
Everybody should be a little bendy.
Everybody's gotta be bendy.
Even guys, we gotta be bendy.
You gotta be bendy.
Bend it up.
Just bendy.
Bend it up.
Bend it up. Bend it up.
Bend it up.
You gotta be bendy.
So okay. So one yoga class, I'll put it in the books. I'll let you know how it goes. We could bring that up. We could bring that up in the next vlogcast.
You're not gonna go.
I will go. I'll go to one yoga class.
Okay.
That's not hard at all.
I know. It's not gonna get you flexible one class.
Well, I mean, let me go to one class and let me figure it out. Let me see what I think. If it's something that I think I can keep on doing, I'm gonna keep doing it. I ain't no sucker. I ain't scared. I ain't scared of nothing new.
Don't go to hot yoga though, because it stinks.
No, and also I don't want everybody just hella ripping ass in there.
It stinks. I want to go.
It's gonna be hella ass. It's gonna be hella
Stink.
ass.
Right, it's just hot.
Ass gas, bro. It's gonna be so much. Fool's gonna be under just straight vaping.
I can't do it.
Ugh.
I can't do it.
I'm cool. That's what I don't want. I don't want to smell no 53-year-old white lady farts. Ugh. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want to smell nobody's, but that one in particular is just like, oh man, I don't deserve this.
Did you like the tacos?
Yeah, they're phenomenal. They're good. Should we shout out the taco place? Dos Charros out here in San Francisco, over by
San Francisco State.
SF State, yeah, in this area. Look for Dos Charros.
They're good, right? See,
Yeah.
I try to tell people.
Actually, the tacos were delicious. We should mention the tacos if they were good or not. We had two carne asada, two pastor.
They're gone.
Clearly, we enjoyed them.
We destroyed tacos.
Yeah, we destroyed those tacos. My take on my quick review on the tacos is the meat was very, very tasty. Everything, like all the sauces and everything, were very good. They were very potent. And they also did a really good job with the micheladas. We had two micheladas there earlier. Negro Modelo was the beer, and Negro Modelo was the beer, and I think it was like tajin and all the
they had
classic
a prawn
stuff.
on it.
It was, and a piece of shrimp. They did a good job. Those tacos did a good job.
I love that place.
So thumbs up to their food.
I'm
thumbs
so
up to
glad
the,
you like them.
Thumbs up to the micheladas.
Because you're
like
Mexican.
Them. Yeah. They get my vote.
Like, that's important.
I'll spend my money with them.
And that's just me tripping. Like, oh, I'm not gonna love my taco spot. I really like them.
No, you have good. You made a good choice. You have good taste when it comes to the taco shop. Dos charros. Get your tacos.
Get
your tacos.
What are we gonna eat next time?
I don't know. Maybe Chinese food or something.
Oh yeah. I love Chinese food.
Chinese food is delicious.
I got a Chinese. Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, it's hella good.
Yeah. So
We talked about it.
we talked about it. That was good.
It was fun.
I think we did like a good 45 minutes.
No, as long as not.
Longer than that.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.